why would God allow such tragedies to happen? And here's a possible answer for you. So there's two stories that are actually really, really horrible. This burnt body found in Puerto Rico. I just read about that story today. I guess it happened on over this past weekend of April 24th and 25th of 2021. And then this other story that's kind of pretty horrible as well. That I'm losing right now, but there you go. Anyway, this 7-month-old child that died, that was killed by someone. So those two stories, pretty fucking horrible, right? If you're not an evil person, or at least as myself, you would ask yourself, why the hell do you feel as if those two things are a just and of God, almost as if you ask God and God's like, yep, that's exactly what should be happening. So here's why. So about a month ago, in March 24th, I made this little meme. Just listen to it real quick.
And if you got to give it up, let it be even Steven.
All right, so it's just a meme I made. Long story short in that's a mixture of two different things. The Chavo is a kind of like Sesame Street, Caillou, Peppa Pig, whatever, children's kind of thing in Spanish language, and that's Malcolm X. Now, the kind of thing to understand about that is when I saw that, I suddenly felt as if I needed to make that post, and I felt as if I was doing it for protection. Long story short in that, right? What else was going on in my life on that particular day of March 24th? Well, that's the day also that I woke up and I actually really wanted to kill someone. It was really what I wanted to do, and instead of doing that, I ended up taking that picture and I posted that day. Another thing that happened right around that particular day is this guy died, Officer Tully. That was that mass shooting. I spoke about it. There's some kind of relevance. There is relevance of that, but I'm not going to get into it. That also happened. What else is happening during that exact same time frame of March 24th? Fat Joe has a live. This lady Gemini, has a comment that she would like Fat Joe to look at this video. That has a certain amount of significance right now. I'm just going to say it's about the Gemini thing as well, but also I wanted to check it out. I still haven't had a chance to. One of the reasons I didn't do it was because I felt as if it was somewhat, let's say, sacrifice. In other words, I would get certain things from not doing it, even though realistically I really wanted to do it. So moving on from that, as well as on that particular day, so people were commenting back to me from Fat Joe's live. So apparently people are seeing my comments. Kind of odd about that as well is Fat Joe, I confirmed it. Sometimes he's blocking my comments, sometimes he's not. So it was surprising to me that some people are seeing my comments on that day. Best San Francisco is following me. I have no idea why. Again, I've made it very clear I'm not looking for followers. Also, you would probably be really weird and creepy to follow me. I've said that very clearly, yet Best of San Francisco's following me. Also, I'm getting this comment. This guy likes my comments about very true. The good thing is that they actually pay attention when they realize that it really is them who are the cause of much of the violence in the world. So that's what's kind of going on, right? So these are all the kind of things that's going on in my life about a month ago on the 24th of March. On the 24th of April is when Queenzflip comes out to California, to San Francisco very specifically,
in San Francisco,
to do some shit. I don't know what he was doing for, I think hosting, but he was supposed to fight. Anyway, something with a fight in San Francisco. Notice that's a fight. It was a backyard kind of fight. Remember, I made that post of the backyard fight integrating Malcolm X with a Chavo, right? So those things are happening. Also 4 days ago, one of the first posts I saw was this one.
Satan calling.
So that that happens. The connection with Golden Child is a little kind of here's a deal with that as well. So see, Golden Child on March 10th, you can see he's posted that Ghostface Killer is on his shit, gave him kind of gave him fire comments on his thing or whatever. He also had a story that something's going on and like Ghostface is co-signing him or some shit like that. The thing about that where that becomes kind of a deal. Here's what's going on in my life also during that time. So on March 9th, I posted this. This is about a call to Tampa TPD where I was looking for help, and they're basically, the easiest way to put it is they're violating my civil fucking rights. And Golden Child is somebody who literally, he seeks praise on the fact that he would be the type of person that would help someone else, someone like me. But yeah, he's not doing it. On that particular day, the thing with the Ghostface Killer thing is, you gotta kind of understand, the easiest way I can put it to you is that I kind of prayed for that, in the sense of, I kind of prayed for that. So that's happening, and yet he kind of shuns me when that happens to him, in a way. So anyway, so you go back to this fucking weekend, Queenzflip is in San Francisco. He's kind of, in my fucking area. There's this dude in the area in Puerto Rico. That's what's happening. Over the fucking weekend, for me, the feeling I had about it was like Flip was dying. Literally, that's how it feels to me, like he's dying. So anyway, also 2 days ago, like I said, there's that 7-month-old kid that got killed. The connection with that is the person who killed him also has been accused of domestic violence twice. The thing about that as well is it happened in January and March. Those are two significant dates for me. The first time I was accused of domestic violence, it was also January. The difference between me and that person is, for a very long time, what I've been basically asking people is to help me address the fact that that kid could die. Because, whether it be me or other people, I've seen that happen where the courts in San Francisco somehow or another will be accusing somebody of basically being this horrible person and domestic violence and all this other shit. And then somehow or another, they give the person custody of the child, which makes no sense. I've been trying to explain that for a very long time. And this, tragedy kind of explains exactly what I was trying to say. Anyway, so then you kind of move forward to today, and I make this entire fucking post basically addressing Queenzflip and saying him and other people are fucking being very weird, and they're creepy, and they should unfollow me because they're very weird. For Queenzflip, without getting too much into it, I'm saying please unfollow me. They're not unfollowing me. That's already odd as it is, right? So then I later on in the day, I'm kind of a little like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what's up with the Queenzflip and these people not that they're not even paying attention to me asking them not to follow me. So then one of the first things I see after that is this.
Do you want me to send? Yo, do you want me to show it? Yo, that's saying pumping right now. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Are you stupid or something, nigga? Niggas want.
So the whole point of that is basically I'm kind of like, yo, what the fuck, world, God, universe, whatever, this shit's all fucked up. These people ain't fucking listening to me. And then I see that post. Now, the reason what that post is, the first thing I thought about was, first I thought about Queenzflip. Second is I thought about the cheek-to-cheek thing, about like turning the other cheek, but I also thought about it a different way as well. And so there's that. So then it was after seeing that particular thing with the slap boxing and the turn the other cheek, and many other ways, that being somewhat just that is when I saw the story about Puerto Rico, which in a lot of ways was kind of bringing it back to the whole like, yo, this mother, Queenzflip was over in my area. Without getting too much into it, he shouldn't, not without talking to me. And so, whether it be the child that died or this person that died in Puerto Rico, while it's all, you could say, out of my control in a certain sense, and it all could not be related. At the same time, it's all things that very much I worked for, as far as I know, would be in alignment for a lot of things. And so wanted to do that fairly quickly to kind of summarize, like, yo, that's what I'm dealing with, and that's why it is what it is. Why would I be happy about a child dying, or that person dying in Puerto Rico, and why would I even think it could be somewhat related to me, and things that I've asked for in the world. There's that. So anyway, we're gonna kind of go back over real quick what else was kind of going on around this time. So this particular Monday, what else was happening here? That's so the kid dies. I see that on Monday. What else is also happening on Monday is this.
In my likeness, I didn't make a nigga, I didn't make a boy, I didn't make a colored fella, a Negro, a pimp, a hustler. God said, let us make man. And when he made a man, brother, he made the man into him. But what did the white man say? Let us make a nigga. And he made niggas. And the nigga is his product. This is not what God made. This is what the white man made. But blessed be Allah. You got a chance now to come out from under the white man and come back to God and let him remake you. But in order to remake you, you got to come as a little child. Don't tell me what you know. What do you know? I made you in my likeness. I didn't make a nigga. I didn't make a...
So I basically see that first thing of the day. Then I end up seeing a post with Candace Owens or whatever. So
trigger warning.
As well as
this talks about child abuse.
I have this post about my mother, with the call my mother, asking people to please listen to it, and if they can, please help. I also have this post of Candace. I saw a post of hers. Some of it seemed to make sense, and I was like, yo, at least one thing that she's saying makes sense. And then I got literally attacked all day by random people, or not random people, but I got attacked by people for even just commenting that. I also, for some reason, felt the need to share an astrology forecast that day. And then these people also made an entire, they posted about me on an account that you can see here called Your Racism is Showing. So like they went kind of hardcore. Like they literally made this entire thing about me and posted about it. So that's also what's going on in my life. And pretty kind of intense fucking day that day. I'm being called a fucking racist and shit like that. As well as... for some reason, I wanted to make manicotis that day. I still haven't fucking done it, but I want to make manicotis. Also, this is where it gets with Fat Joe. So Shock G died that also. I'm going to stop with the Shock G thing real quick just because there is a connection with me and him in real life. We ended up hanging out one day. I'm not going to get into more than that. But anyway, so there's that. Fat Joe also ends up, for some reason, starting his show with this.
People that lived above the buildings, and I was hustling from that calling police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter. And all the niggas in the struggle, you know what I'm saying?
So anyway, I mean, most people fucking know that song, you know what I mean? So he starts off with that shit. And then Fat Joe is kind of somewhat like Queenzflip real quick. So Also, I'm making all these fucking comments of Fat Joe, who's also not responding. He's also talking about VH1. I think that's the day he revealed he's doing a behind the music. I just literally have one question for Fat Joe, which is, yo, back in the day, I heard TS, TS Crew, like the chain he wears. I heard that shit used to stand for the Suicidals. And then later on, I heard Terror Squad. And I wonder if he's ever heard that. Like, why would I even heard that? Whatever. That's basically it, right? But he's acting as if he's invited me to a live. He's liked some of my posts, but then he's also acting as if he has no fucking idea who I am, whatever. He's also done the weird shit like Queenzflip has done, as far as, and I verified this, like, if for some reason, sometimes he lets my comments go where, like, it could be seen publicly, and then sometimes not, which means he's throwing out a pretty good amount of effort in, like, not necessarily blocking my account, or he's the questions are very simple question, but he's actually, like I said, putting out a lot of effort. So anyway, these are all comments that I was making to these are all comments that I was making to Fat Joe on the live. You can see what they are. They're kind of fucking intense. They're a little much to just ignore. So that's also what's going on in my life during this exact same time frame. And so there's that as well. And then check this out. And then just today, I realized that somebody literally went one by one, because I used to think that this was algorithm or otherwise. They literally went one by one on all these posts, as you can see, and got them blocked. Now, the thing about that is, why, what's the big deal about these particular posts? Well, the thing is, that particular post, what that post is, Instagram wouldn't let me click on it. I had to get on it, whatever. But
the FBI's report isn't public. Right? There's only one copy, which can be viewed exclusively.
So what that post is a post where during the Kavanaugh trial, that particular post seemed to be able to illustrate what's going on with me and the courts and shit like that, and why I'm looking for help. It basically just it shows the mother of my child's testing results of court order testing, and that it says that she's an alcoholic, and that she has the capability of hurting her own child, and that there's a mood disorder present, and why I'm asking for help, because that's kind of a fucking big deal. So the entire post is just literally a post to try to prevent child abuse. That's literally what this post is about. And yet somebody spent a whole lot of time going individually, post by post, just to block that. What it kind of comes down to is, as you can tell, if you could think to yourself, or like for me, as to why would you conclude that you would be able to affect the world in such a sense? It's because of the people who are involved. You see, like, certain of these people are, it's Fat Joe, it's Queenzflip. A lot of those people interact with a whole lot of other people as well. And so, for many reasons, as crazy and as I could understand how it may be, it may sound odd to people who don't have much experience with these things, but that's basically all the shit I'm dealing with. Like, if you just realize fucking everything, literally 30 days, pretty much exactly a month later, and exactly how it would be aligned with astrology. After I, for some reason, felt that I needed to do something to protect myself, it was directly related to something that I couldn't have predicted, and I definitely didn't know about, as far as Queenzflip coming to San Francisco and acting the way he's acted. And then, with the integration of all the other things that's been going on with Fat Joe, and that kid dying exactly on the same dates and shit like that. So that's what that is. So hopefully, some people can have a little bit better understanding of what's going on, and why I've said the things that I've said, and shit like that. I very much understand that for many of these people, whether it be Fat Joe or Queenzflip, at this point, it's kind of like they're either pretty evil people who really, whether it be themselves or even just allowing, kind of being associated with people who would go and spend it would have to take at least, I mean, a fairly good amount of time to go one by one, to report every single one of those videos. And the only, I mean, you could see the content of the, of those posts. It's literally just trying to get help for a child, and to prevent child abuse, for not just my child but others as well. And that's what they wanted to do. And so, you got when it's people like Fat Joe and Queenzflip that are involved as well, and they don't even want to disassociate from something like that. Like they really want to actually be associated with it. Well, things kind of get exponential. And so, it is what it is. Like I said, like don't forget, I'm dying of heart failure, or I was, at the very least. And, that I was in the hospital. All those are all real consequences, to shit like this. And so, yeah, that's that. And then, yeah, the weird thing about it is too, it's like, it's also, like I said, it's kind of like not about me in the sense of, why would these things happen? Well, it's kind of, it is what you wanted. Very realistically, as you can see, somebody at the very least, out there spent a long amount of time, whether it be necessarily the person who died in Puerto Rico, or whether it be the 7-month-old child, that died here in San Francisco. They spent a very long amount of time, basically kind of wanting that to happen, to somebody at some point in time, because all the purpose of that post, was to prevent that. That's it. And so if you're confused, I don't know, at this point, I don't know how to say it, because I understand that there's a certain amount of like humbleness in it, and of something like, because nobody likes to admit like, yo, I was confused. But if you take somebody like Queenzflip, he's not at a level realistically where it would be such a big deal for him to just be like, yo, I didn't realize that. But we're now talking about a good amount of years, and a good amount of effort, to literally stop me, and others, from preventing child abuse for my child and others. It is what it is. And, also because of the timing of events, is why, sometimes I think it can feel as if I'm coming off, or I'm saying things in a gloaty or like happiness about death and things like that sense. And it's not necessarily that. It's just exactly like I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I literally was like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on with Queenzflip? That shit's weird. Not just him, but others as well, of not blocking me when I've asked for it. I mean, it's a pretty simple fucking thing. And then immediately I see that slap boxing thing, and then that person that was dead in Puerto Rico. And, when you put it all together for everything else, that's the reason why. So that's about it.